Good afternoon everybody, Car and Biker here. Time for another job in the Batcave, and today's job is putting these bits on my bike. If you've not seen these before, these are ram mounts, and the idea of a ram mount is you can mount pretty much anything to pretty much anything. Now I'm hoping to mount one of these phones. I've got a few here, just what I could find lying around to try out some different sizes and see how they worked. So I'm going to try and mount them to my bike. And the ram mounts come in three parts basically. You have a part with a ball on. Now this is the bit that you're actually going to mount to, in my case, the bike, but whatever it is you're going to mount to, because you can mount these to all sorts. They have mounts for boats, for cars, for bikes in different places. You've got the windscreen mounts, all these different kind of things. This one goes on either your clutch lever or your brake lever. So the two holes that hold that on go through those two holes there. You can see the wide so that you can fit them to various sizes. So that's the mount for the bike, and it's got this rubberized ball on the end, which is actually the bit that matters. All of the ram mounts are based around these balls. This is a 1-inch ball. You can get various sizes. Now say it's rubberized, the whole piece is actually metal. Quite a quality part, and for the price that these things are, it should be. I do think they're a little bit overpriced, I have to say. And that just fits onto the clutch or brake lever, and you get some extra long screws to replace the screws that come out of your bike. The second part for a ram mount is the thing that is mounting the item you want to mount. Now I'm using this. This is the X mount or X grip I think it is, and the idea is your phone goes inside that and it grips. I have to say it's slightly terrifying, but I've played with it and it seems pretty tough. Let me show you. So I'll get a phone. I'll just pick the one that if it does break is the one that's going to cost me the least. So it literally slots in, and then these rubberized sections grip it, and it is properly tight. So obviously it's got to be able to cope with bouncing up and down as you're going down the road and going through good old British potholes, and it does. You know, it's in there, it's sturdy. If anything's missing, I would say that this back part here could do with a rubber pad on it, just to give it a little bit of an extra grip, and I might put a rubber pad on there just to make extra certain, because then as these things, you can see the shape of them, you want the phone as far back as possible. They stop it coming out that way, and they're rubberized so they grip your phone, but I think it would also push it onto a piece of rubber there, which might make it a bit better. Now on the back of the X grip you can see again 1-inch rubberized ball, and again you know, it's a solid thing, but it's got that rubbery feeling to it. The final part to a ram mount is the arm. So this is the arm for the ram mount here. This is, again, it's a metal piece. It's quite a tough bit of kit, and you put a ball in each end. So any of your mounts have got a ball, any of your items you're going to mount to that have got a ball, you can put on there. There's loads of different ones of these, different lengths. This is about 3 inches, but you can get them shorter than that, longer. You can get them with bigger balls. You can get much heavier duty ones if you're mounting laptops and things like that, but for a phone this one is ample. And essentially you put a ball in each end and then screw the thing together. Let me show you. So here's the part that will be mounted on the bike, so that's not going to be going anywhere. I wouldn't normally be holding that. Here's the arm. Because it's spring loaded, you can just clip it on like that. That's loose on purpose at the minute. The idea is you can move this into pretty much any direction you want. If you can't quite get the direction you need, there are actually other mounts available too that give you even more manoeuvrability, but I'm hoping this is going to be enough for me. Then the other ball goes in the other end, and you tighten it up and you have a mount. So the idea will be, I'll just loosen that, that can be on the handlebar. I can bring the mount round here, I can turn that round here, tighten it, pop a phone in there, and I can use that on my bike. sat nav, that kind of thing. So let's get it mounted. Now, because I've got heated grips on my left hand bar, and because I prefer things to be on the right anyway, I'm going to put the mount on the right hand bar here. It does look close to the mirror there, but actually it comes with some spacers, which I'll show you in a moment. So I need to remove one of these bolts, because I've got a little thing to do of matching them up to the bolts that came with the kit. So here's a bolt I've taken out of the bike, and here are the two styles of bolt that come with the ram mount. And the key part here is to make sure you pick the one with the same thread pitch. You don't want to be trying to screw the wrong thread pitch in. So you can just put the two screws together and they should interlock perfectly. So I've got my part, got my bolt, that goes in first. On the back of that, the spacer. The kit also comes with a crush washer, so nothing moves once it's on there. And I'm going to add just a quick dab, only a little bit needed, of copper grease, just so that if I ever need to take this off again, it will come off easily. And I'll pop that in the top hole for now. I'm just going to hold this together. I don't want to take out both bolts at the same time, because there's always a possibility then that everything moves and I have to fiddle about setting everything back up how I like it again. And then same again. Take out the bottom bolt. I can already feel my mirror moving, so I will have to set this up again, I think. So a little dab again of the copper grease. Copper slip, whatever you want to call it. And this time obviously I'm going to have to put it through the mount first, and then put the spacer and the crush washer behind. Bit fiddly. Slide it all into rough position. There we go. And then just loosely put it where I want it. And I'll just make sure my bars are how I like them still. And nip it all up. These are not hugely tight. Hand tightness plus 5 minutes. So there's, well, finger tightness. And then 5 minutes, back there. Finger tight, 5 minutes. Perfect. Now I can try and put the whole thing together. So, clip them all on, put the other end in, and I'll just give it a little bit of tightness so that everything's holding. And then I think the best place is going to be probably somewhere around here, maybe. Might have it that way, Actually, I really don't know. So it depends whether I'm using it for sat nav or not. Sat nav may be better in landscape and portrait if you're using it for something else. Not that I'm going to be texting or doing Facebook or anything while I'm riding. Obviously make sure it's not going to come into contact with anything and turning the bars, and it's not. Okay, let's try putting a few phones in it. So, iPhone 4 seems to go in okay, it's definitely gripping well. Just in case you've got one that's a bit bigger, this is a 6 that's in a case. See how that goes. Just a bit bigger. And even in the case it seems to be gripping it well. I'd probably remove it from that case, to be honest, and well, for the price of these phones I'd probably put it in something a lot more solid. Get one of those cases that you can drop the phone in without damaging it. And I've also got my Nokia. Try that, it's in a case as well, I should really take it out of there. But even in the case again, yeah, it seems to be working quite well. there you have it. I shall have a fiddle with that and find the perfect position, but that seems to be pretty good. Doesn't get in the way of my hand or anything like that. So they're the ram mounts. Seem pretty good. Need to try them on a ride. So I'll try them on a ride and let you know how I get on with them. Thanks for watching everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.